This is my new Olivetti Echos 48 Color Plus. Well, new. I'm not exactly sure how old it is, but some files in it are written in 1996. I did find a PDF brochure about the Echos 42, 43 and 44 that seems to be dated 1994, so 95 or 96? I bought this laptop a few months ago from an ex-Olivetti employee who had kept this device in his attic for decades and decided it was about time to part with it. This man had some vivid memories about his time at Olivetti in the Netherlands and told me he even kept in touch with his colleagues from back then. Sadly, Olivetti stopped existing as a computer brand, I believe in the late 90s. According to Wikipedia, their last machine is a Pentium 3 computer from 1999. That list doesn't seem to be complete though, as this Echos 48 is absent from it. I'll show you just how awesome this device is after the intro.
It's the anarchy with me, I'm the exciting guy!
If you're expecting a teardown, that ain't happening in this video. To be honest, even though it works fine, it might be a good idea to check what it looks like. But its plastic is very brittle already and I'm a bit scared to break it. The clip that holds the screen closed just fell off when I opened it for the first time after taking it home. I hope to fix that someday at least. If anyone has ideas on how to handle that, I'd love to learn from you. There's also a crack at the side here, nothing too serious, but I hope to fix that before it gets worse. The previous owner thought it would be necessary to replace the BIOS battery because it wouldn't detect the internal hard drive anymore. On systems this old, that would usually mean figuring out the right amount of cylinders, heads and sectors yourself, so that could have been some challenge. But when I got home, I went into the BIOS and just told the system that there was a hard drive. It hasn't stopped working yet, and the date and time are still correct, even though it's been way over a month since I last touched it. So yeah, no good reason to open it up just yet. For those dying to hear the specs, this pretty little laptop houses a 486DX4 SLE processor clocked at 100 MHz. It has 16 MB of RAM, which is quite a lot for a system this old. A 500 MB hard disk, an internal floppy drive, and a 10.4-inch TFT screen with a 640x480 resolution capable of displaying a whopping 265 colors. There's also 2 PCMCIA slots available. I have been utilizing that to get some of my own files onto the machine. I bought this PCMCIA CompactFlash adapter and a 512 MB card to go with it. I might try a bigger card in the future, but I didn't want to go too big right away because I'm not sure how much this system can handle. It took me quite a while to figure out how to get it working, but with the help of this Vogan's forum post, I figured it out. It works great with ATAENAB.EXE, and no, I'm not going to show you where to get that, but it has to be loaded before EMM386. If I skip loading config.sys and autoexec by pressing F5, it works fine. It also loads fine if I put it in config.sys before EMM386. Both slots work fine, but the top slot doesn't release when I press this button. Come on, give me back my adapter! Yes! Hey, you see, the bottom one is completely functional. When I got it, Windows 3.1 was still installed and set to start at boot. I disabled that because I mostly want to play with DOS for now. The generic Microsoft Mouse.com mouse driver seems to work well with the trackball on this machine. As far as I have found, there's no sound chip on board of this laptop. Again, if you know more than I do on that subject, I'd love to learn from you. But there's no driver installed in Windows either, and I haven't found any information of it being available at all. Makes sense for a laptop this old though, but we do have a working PC speaker. A PCMCIA sound card would be nice, but yeah, let's say I'm not the only one that wants one. The function keys have a double function with the FN key, just like we see on modern laptops. these seem to be working without any software. And thus, without anything loaded, they all seem to work. One thing that took me a while to find was a way to access the machine's BIOS setup tool after the initial hard disk setup I did. I tried pressing several keys and combinations, but nothing seemed to work. On this German page about the Echos 46, it's explained that you should press the power button and space at the same time, but that doesn't seem to work on this one. The other option mentioned though is pressing Fn and F4 while the machine is running, which, as you can see, works like a charm. It even returns to where you were after quitting the setup utility. Pretty cool. I put some DOS games that I have played quite a lot in the past on my CF card. Let's see what it can do. Not really a game, but I used to love having Dazzle running while playing some music or so. That didn't age well, I suppose. I really thought this looked awesome back in the day. Alright, let's play some BlockOut. An awesome 3D Tetris-like game I spent a lot of time with when we just had our 386 computer. I guess that's the only sound in the game. Oh, there's another one! I also love playing Corridor 7, a game inspired by Doom, but, well, it ran on our 386. By the way, we can see some black bars at the top and bottom. That's because a lot of these old DOS games ran at a 320 by 200 resolution, which is actually a 16 by 10 screen ratio instead of 4 by 3 when using square pixels like this and modern flat panels do. On a CRT display, this would actually output a 4 by 3 image, so this image is slightly stretched. There's our secret armor. How about DuckTales? Man, I loved this game when I was young. Oh. Oh. Ah, right. Ooh. Fuck. I don't remember these controls being so bad as they are. Maybe it worked better with the joystick, I don't know. Oh crap. That's it. Thank you. Oh. Of course we gotta play Doom. Yeah, sorry about that. If you feel you've seen this game before in this video, you're right! Hunter by the Dutch company HVB Software is also the backdrop for my intro. Pick up as much stars as you can and try not to hit any asteroids or whatever they're supposed to be. Stunts! I think I've spent more time with a track editor than actually driving, but man, I love this. And it has the most awesome soundtrack of any game ever! Come on. I don't think I ever was good at this game. But I loved it. Ooh, an ice track. Ooh. It feels impossible to stay on track, but there are people who manage, so I guess it's a me problem. Just gotta get good. Harley Davidson, the road to Sturgis. Control, yeah. How do we shift down? Oh, stalled bike. What? I have no idea how to shift down. Maybe... oh. Ah, yeah. This game is harder than the most current motorcycle ones. Oh, yeah, stalled bike. Just like in real life, you have to... come on. Okay. Ski or Die. This is actually a collection of some winter-themed mini-games. Let's throw some snowballs! Oh. How do you jump? Not enter? No. I have no idea how to jump. Never mind. Oops. Oops. Let's get to some slightly more modern games. Warcraft 2. This game runs at a more modern 640 by 480 resolution, neatly filling the whole screen. No sound at all though. I guess no one thought about implementing PC speaker noises anymore by the time this came out. You, go chop wood! Let's train another peon to speed things up a bit. You can go get me some gold. Let's explore a bit. Works quite well using the trackball. We're under attack! Last but not least, let's see how Duke Nukem 3D runs on this thing. Again, a nice screen-filling 640 by 480 resolution. Runs okay, could be smoother, but this is playable by DOS gaming standards. Let's go fetch that RPG. Again, no sound, they probably didn't think of implementing PC speaker noises. Breakable environments, guys, in 1996. I did try to run Quake as well, but it threw some exception. That's probably not going to be great on a 486 anyway though. I guess that's all I have for you today. I'll probably play around with this unit some more, If I manage to open it without breaking, you might actually see a teardown video at some point. If only because there's so little information about this unit online that I'd love to document it some more. I'd also like to try boot from a CF card, something the BIOS seems to support, but the syscommand didn't seem to like this card or the partition table. I don't know. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time.